Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu, Montel. Is that you?
He's Sparta.
This is episode 300 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast. This is where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The After Story. It's where you can get access to the pre-show. Episode 300 pre-show goes live 2 days before this episode goes live for everybody else. Thank you so much for supporting us over on Patreon. We, as we always do, when we get a new producer or new supporter on our Patreon page, we like to shout them out first, give them special recognition for supporting us because it means the world to us. It's how we keep going. Thank you so much to Matthew H. for joining the producer crew over on Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Shout out to the rest of the Patreon producers: Christian the Archivist, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk Podcast, Fear, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast. Happy birthday, Ked. Explicitly, All for One Matthew H. again, Monique Williams, Simi Sensei, Frozen, Rob Stone, and last but certainly not least, our guy, T Money Fingers. Thank y'all so much for producing this. What are you squeezing? For those of you who listen to the podcast, tell Gabe T Money Fingers something. He was squeezing something. Who knows what it is?
Too many fingers.
Too many fingers. Thank you so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. We appreciate you. Make sure wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever, make sure you leave us 5-star reviews. We appreciate that. That help us a lot. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like and a comment or any type of support, like subscribing to the YouTube channel is greatly appreciated. And also join the community Discord. Great place to talk about anime, and not just surface level anime, but all anime within the season. We got a forum thread going on over there. We're always talking and chatting up some stuff. It's a lot of fun. So make sure you check out discord.miccheckwaifu.com to join the Discord. We appreciate that. This is episode 300, Montel.
That's wild, brother.
As we always do, let's start with our episodes of the week of Mic Check Waifu. The week of May 11th is when we're recording this.
It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
My episode of the week is the one I've been most consistent with this season, To Be Hero X.
Okay.
And I say that because I'm expecting Polow to say something specific. And if he doesn't, I'll be disappointed. But
yeah, you're going to be disappointed because this is about to probably come from left field. But Sword of the Demon Hunter is definitely my episode of the week this week. When I think about what this episode was, it was deep. It was surprising. It was sweet all the same, but sad. It was a great episode. I think the show is highly underrated, very underappreciated because it's on High Dive. So I figured right now would be the time to give it my episode of the week. But I also want to give a special shout out, and this is just a side tangent coming from me that Tell doesn't know about, but I want to give a special shout out to Windbreaker and what Windbreaker did this week. It was unlike the Japanese culture and what they show with this episode, and how they just showed, acceptance, which is in their strict culture. So it was greatly appreciated. I just love seeing stuff like that. It's just good to see when it's trickle over into a medium that I love, like just acceptance. And again, if you're a human being, you appreciate what that episode of Windbreaker did. So
it was certainly a special episode. I agree. It was beautiful.
It was a beautiful episode. So I just wanted to make sure I give that shout out. But Sword of the Demon Hunter was my favorite episode this week for sure. Great episode. I mean, it was just spectacular in my opinion. Highly underrated show. Shout out to Boombox. I believe he said it's his favorite show this season.
It definitely does get slept on because it's on High Dive. And I literally, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have been watching it. This is the first episode I've missed, and I'm a little salty.
It's such a good episode.
And I'm sorry because I literally have watched every episode and have been geared and ready to talk about it every single week. And this is the one time.
Yeah, no, this one
time I watched it.
This one was truly special. It was a great episode. Just thinking about it now is like actually blowing my mind.
I saw it coming because I felt like they were gearing up for something like monumental, almost like not monumental, but something.
Just yeah.
And I'm not gonna say I know what's to come, but I'm gonna watch it as soon as we done, bro. And I'm sorry now.
I consider, you know what we always talk about. It's the turning points in anime, right? Mm-hmm. I consider it a turning point. It's not overly bombastic with action or anything like that. So that's not what you're gonna get from it. It's character moments, and that is my favorite fucking thing in anime. When character moments are so standoutish that it captivates me. And this episode truly captivated me with its character moments, like for multiple characters, not just one.
To piggyback, I would like to say that the anime has already thrown me a couple of surprises. I think about like the slight spoiler, the invisible demon. Mm-hmm. I thought that it was kind of a nice surprise, and I kept expecting to be like betrayed at some point, right?
Yeah.
But the storyline and how they depict their demons is that demons don't lie. They might bend the truth a little bit, but they don't like outright just lie. They're telling you the truth when they say something.
Yeah. And
it was like, bro, the whole way through his whole little story arc and development, I was like, yo, I kind of like this character. So I thought it was. The show has been great the entire time for me. So I also agree. It definitely, I'm glad it has got an episode of the week.
Yeah. Watch. Obviously, you're going to watch it. Catch up so we can talk about it next week. I would really want to put that in the spoiler talk with what that episode was and is. So this is episode 300 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. We've been doing this for a very, 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 very long time. And again, we appreciate you guys for listening to us for a very long time. Our community that is just so tight knit and fun to just talk about anime with you. And even those that just listen, we got hundreds and hundreds of y'all that just listen to the show. And that just means the world to us. So thank you so much for supporting us just by putting us in your ears or wherever you put us, in your cars or whatnot. So what we obviously this is the mid-season midterms. We do this every season of anime. We take the shows that we're watching and we give them grades on the mid-season so far on what we feel about them, and we take the community's grades and what they feel about them so far as well. We're also going to share some of our community's favorite moments within the podcast. So if you want to be a part of the show, join the Discord is the easiest way to do that. To talk to us, you can message us, you can do whatever. It works there, but feel free to add your favorite moments to the podcast if you're hearing this later, and we'll share them next week too, because why not? We're going to start off big. We're going to start off big with our guy, Rob Stone. Came to the podcast about what? 2 years ago, almost? A year ago? Yeah, a while ago. But he says, Rob Stone says, favorite podcast moment, Polow breaking and trying 7th time loop over the course of several weeks and having at first reluctantly, then gleefully admitting that he has a whole new genre to explore. It really reinforced that not only is a key part of the podcast, and in parentheses says in the wider Mic Check community, but trying out new shows, even if you don't think they will be for you, but also that anime fans be dismissing entire genres because they are for guys or for girls or for kids. They only punish themselves, and that is a fact. That is a fact, because it was and Rob Stone is absolutely right. It was really hard for me to pick up a shoujo because I'm like, it's just not made for me. But assuming it wasn't made for me put me in a box to where I just never experienced anything like this, and when I do, I love it.
Yeah,
it's just as good as Slice of Life for me. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you good. And I think about how, like, even with specifically 7th time loop, I did such a bad job. I did a disservice of explaining that, like, because I liked the first episode, but I feel like I did a disservice to you in the way I explained it, but when you went and watched it, I was like, thank you. I'm so happy he watched this, because it was so gratifying to see that this is something that Polow thoroughly enjoyed. And that's part of why we do the podcast, is that sometimes there's going to be stuff that's outside of your element that you're going to fall in love with. And I personally get enjoyment when you guys listen to the podcast and say, yo, I really loved this anime that you brought to our attention. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
That means the world to us, for sure. All right, moving on. He says midterm grades for the new shows. He broke it down kind of nicely, real easy to follow. So he says, To Be Hero X, an A+. At the moment, it can do no wrong. Looking forward to seeing more perspectives and backstory. Yeah. So we're going to give our grades of the same shows at the same time that they're announced here. So stick with us. But then he says, Apocalypse Hotel, A cute slice of life with moments of melancholy. And he says Kowloon, A. I don't know if I'm more invested in the romance or the mystery. Either way, it holds my attention. And then can a boy-girl relationship or can a boy-girl friendship survive? A B+. It may be predictable, but I'm still enjoying it enough to watch. B+, huh? Okay. From Country Bumpkin. He said, from Old Country Bumpkin, B+, very solid and good animation for this sort of story. The Shuinji family children, B+, enjoyable so far, but the wheels could come off the story very easily if it fumbles the romances. Man, you're preaching to the choir there.
It's almost there, bro.
Almost there. My Hero Vigilantes, B+. I prefer both the art style and the characters to later seasons of My Hero, so it feels like a return to form. Okay. Then he has, I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. B, again, easy to watch, escalated by the sensei and guide being annoyed by our MC's continued success. Yeah, it's a very interesting show that we can talk about a little bit later. Sword of the Demon Hunter, B, another solid show, but it feels the urgency, but I feel less urgency to put it on in the morning, probably because it's on high dive. Mobile Suit GX with all the use. B, the switch in art style was a bit odd and I missed the old mech designs, but it's not bad. Witch Watch, B-, getting to a better part of the story, but still better as a manga than an anime. We'll get to that a little bit later. Lazarus, C, got the pacing, dialogue, and the plot structure are weak. If it weren't my sleeper, I'd drop it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Robson. I feel that. The beginning after the end, C-, purely for the animation. At least now I've read the webcomic, which is genuinely great. Yes, it is. And he says, not started. He didn't start Moonrise. Rock Lady is Modesty, Summer Pockets, Loser Ranger Season 2. And then he dropped Atelier Meister and the healer one. And he says his continuing shows, Apothecary Diaries, A+, Windbreaker, A, both the dubs are a few episodes behind. And he says overall B+. A lot of solid shows with 3 standouts for me. And if only I could drop Lazarus. You could. You could. We're not gonna fault you for doing so.
We give you a once in a lifetime sleeper drop.
Yeah, like we did with like Yakuza Fiance. That's our once a year sleeper drop. That we abide by. All right.
We had to add that rule for that one. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, we did. Okay, starting with To Be Hero X. Tell, what is your grade and your thoughts on To Be Hero X?
I think To Be Hero X it is both a breath of fresh air and then also kind of a point of tension for me. And by point of tension, I mean that it is good enough to stress me out. It is. I personally, and this is, I find it hard to have fault with it because it hasn't completed yet. I feel like when I get to the end of it, I'm not going to give it this rating I'm going to give it right now. But like, if I had to say how I feel about it right now, I'm going to say it's a 10. So it's an A. But I feel like once we get to the end, based on how the pacing goes, it could be like between like A-, B+ area. I'm just not sure yet because I haven't. But if the delivery continues to be as good, story continues to be as good, I'm going to be hard pressed to give it anything lower than like a 90 90%, kind of thing.
And you know what? This is exactly why for what we do with our reviews, and you guys are going to see later, and most of you already know, but what we do with our reviews when we score them in great detail the way we do, there's a reason why we do the scores in the great detail the way we do, and we do grades for midterms, because grades for midterms is not as finite as the scores are for our overall thoughts on the show. So giving it a grade is a lot easier to come up in between saying, it's an AA minus than, whatever the case may be. But To Be Hero X is an A. It's definitely an A. It's an easy A. It's probably one of the easiest A's I've ever given anything, because it has everything. It has everything you want and everything I want in particular. And that's what's my two favorite things, Tell. Character and world character and world building. If you have that, I don't care about how flashy your animation is or how cool your art style is. If that stuff is good, then
it's a plus.
It's a plus. It's an additive. But it's the characters, one, and then the world, two. And the characters are what is the A plus, and the world is what I would just say is an A. But it's fantastic. And one thing that makes it so much more enjoyable, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later here down this list, is the voice acting. This is an unbelievably incredible dub. Incredible dub. Me and my wife decided to listen to because my wife is Taiwanese, so she speaks Mandarin. And this is a Danwa, so obviously it's a Ardoshan, sorry. And she listened to it in her native language and she said it stinks. She said it's absolutely bad. Like none of the voices match the characters. It just don't feel good to watch, which in turn, I did hear that it's not very well received, according to somebody in the community. I forgot, I think it's TCB or Rob from That Needs to Talk podcast. Somebody said that it wasn't well received over there and it's getting well received over here, but it's fantastic in English. Like it's probably one of my favorite dubs. Yeah.
Oh man.
Like top tier.
I feel, and hear me out, I say this all the time. In my opinion, you can still feel emotional context and value in other languages, but I've listened to it. I don't think it was Taiwanese. I've listened to it subbed and dubbed. The dub for me, bro, it just hit different. It feels crazy. Like
it's Mandarin, yeah.
Music, mixed with the music and everything, like the whole ambiance of the show, it just feels elevated. It feels elevated, and it I don't know if it's like the hero perspective or whatever it is, but the dub for it is amazing, bro. It's amazing.
Yeah, it truly is. And I don't know. It seems like they use the same thing video games use. It's like an AI generative thing what they use for mouth matches. But every word matches what they're saying with the, I wouldn't call it mouth flaps, but it's like a 3D weird thing. So, but yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's an incredible show. Can't recommend it enough. Okay. Apocalypse Hotel. I stopped watching it after that episode 1. I didn't even try episode 2. So I don't have much to say about it. Would it be fair for me to give it a grade, or should I give it a grade anyway? I'm going to give it a C. And I'm going to call it a C because it didn't captivate me enough to want to watch more.
Yeah.
Is that its fault or my fault? I don't know. I feel like it's maybe its fault because I wasn't that interested to continue.
I'm on the same page as you. Not that I forgot about it, but it's one that I planned on going back to later because I didn't feel urgency. Yeah.
That's what I thought I was going to do too, but it's just been sitting here and I just don't even think about it.
But when I say urgency, it's not the same level of urgency that I feel like I didn't have for Sword of the Demon Hunter. Sword of the Demon Hunter just didn't get watched because of High Dive. High Dive ain't an app on my TV. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not as easy to just pull up High Dive, and it is one, but it just gives me a headache on my TV. Like the app is garbage.
Yeah, it's awful.
I'd rather do it on my computer. So sometimes it's a little harder for me to get to that. Apocalypse Hotel is where I can watch it easely, and I just kind of didn't feel it. I didn't feel the necessity to go and watch it. So
same.
I feel like a C is relevant to
because like it wasn't that bad first episode. Everything looked good.
First or second episode.
Oh, you watched the second too? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell. I don't even know. But yeah, okay. Kowloon is an easy one. Kowloon for me is an A. It's a very interesting and intriguing story. I don't know what you were talking about in Discord. When you said I must have missed something, or was you referring to yourself?
It was specifically something about what we were talking about with the clone conversation.
Yeah. So his father said something about clones, and then Gwen said not necessarily clones. So it was a little confusing between what the fuck. I'm like, wait, what? Hold on.
It's because from what I read.
Don't go
right?
too spoiler.
I'm not. From what I read, I believe that clones do exist, but they were speaking on a different context here.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I was saying. I didn't know if that was necessarily picked up or if it was like brushed over, like if people even put those pieces together. But I felt like it was relatively obvious, but you know. Yeah, so it's very strange. However, this does invoke the most conversation. It was the Discord episode of the week this week for sure. A great show, man. Like you said, with I'm not sure if I'm more invested in the romance or the mystery. That's exactly what it is. It's both. You're invested in both. Two things could be true. It's just an incredible way of telling this story. This episode was a little bit expo dumpy, which felt just like a complete Polow, which kind of thrown off the pattern of what this show has been, you know, because the way this show has been flowing has been an easy drip feed of information that keeps you guessing, keeps you wondering what's going on. But this particular episode, they decided to say, oh, Kowloon is this, Kowloon is that. You don't know this, you don't know that. And it's like they're just kind of throwing a bunch of information at you all in this one episode to try to get you to understand quicker as like the turning point, since it's the midpoint of the season. Very interesting way of doing that, but it's still an A. Like, it's still an incredible show. Yeah, and for me, this was probably one of my favorite episodes, and it was specifically because I like the exposition, I like the info dump, and it felt like belong, though. I can understand why you feel that way. I can understand, but for me, I loved it. I felt like I love just having that extra information. It felt like they introduced the character to almost make it reasonable to give that information.
I disagree there. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So I enjoyed it. We do give Kowloon the same grade though, so we're both on the same train as it's obviously an A.
Yeah. Introducing that character to just expo dump. It still was a conversation between two people who already know the deal for the most part. I guess they could say that. Yeah, it didn't feel natural. None of it felt natural to me. That's exactly what I'm referring to. It's not that the expo was bad, right? The information was bad. No.
Okay, yeah.
It just didn't feel right. It felt unnatural and not like what Kowloon does.
Why would these two characters need to have this conversation when they already know?
Exactly right. Misplaced, I guess, would be the term I'll use. Boy-girl relationship can survive this relationship.
This is my favorite one of the season so far.
That's not the cap. You know, it's not a bad. Let me rephrase that, because it's not like I'm saying it till it's astronomically wrong, because it's not a bad show. I would even say it's a good show. And it's a good show for mostly two reasons. The character and how quick the episodes go by. One character, I should say, and how quick the episodes go by. That one character being our girl's brother. He's the character that's literally anchoring this entire show. And the blue-haired girl's brother is incredible. And then it's easy to watch. Like, it just flows. It just goes, and then it's like over. I'm like, oh, okay. You know? So I give it a B-.
Wow.
It's not a bad show.
You give it a B-.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's a good show. I do feel compelled to watch it though. And it's mostly because it is a constant conversation, and there's something drawing about it, which is why I can't say like it's horrible. But I don't think it's a good show. And I do think that, and I'm just gonna say this, I'm compelled to watch it because of the Discord community we have. I think if we did not have Discord, I would already turn this off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. So it's sitting at a C minus for me.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I can understand that. You know, especially as somebody who, you know, not necessarily is into the slice of life piece of the anime side. So I get it.
Earlier in this season, I would have gave it a B minus for sure. Earlier this season, I'd have been like, yep. And I felt like you was gonna give it worse. I honestly thought Polow was gonna give it a D.
I can't see this. This is the way we look at it. This is what makes us, even though we're brothers and we agree on a lot of stuff. This is what makes us two different people. Because what makes us two different people is the fact that we gave it the same score for the same exact reason. And the same exact reason being that it's something captivating about it. It's something that keeps you watching it. And you kind of drawn into like what's going to happen next week. What's going to happen next week. And I don't think that is like, while I'm not going to say it's a great show, it's a good show for that aspect of it, to be able to draw me back to it, to be able to pull me in again. That's what makes it a great show. Even though you think you're being pulled in, but you don't necessarily think it's a good show. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing, but different. Right. And that's very, very, very strange. This is what I love about this. All right. From Old Country Bumpkin. You know, okay, so hear me out. I watched this one from 1 through 5 dubbed. God awful experience. Okay. And this is the first time ever, you know, because we're not sub dubbedly this year. We don't care how you watch your anime. We prefer it if the dub is good and the sub is good. It doesn't matter what you watch. We ain't gonna judge nobody for nothing. However, from Old Country Bumpkin, I watched 1 through 5 dubbed, and then I just went to 6 and watched it sub today. And that made such a world difference, because watching those first 5 episodes dubbed, I was literally grinding my teeth or cringing at how bad the lines were delivered. Like, I swear I was getting achingly upset at how the lines were delivered, that it took away my enjoyment of the show. Then watching the 1 episode subbed, I'm like, holy shit, what a difference. Yeah. And again, I don't speak Japanese. I know a lot of words now because of what we've been doing, but I don't speak Japanese. So I don't necessarily know if the conveying of emotion is as bland and dry as it is in English or not. But the difference is there. It's crazy. It's huge. And I've never seen anything like it. Through watching almost 1,000 something shows, not 1,000 episodes, 1,000 shows since we've been doing this podcast. So it blows my mind. It blows my mind how literally, if you watch the dub, it's a terrible experience. And if you watch the sub, it's such a good experience. It's so much better. So with that being said, because if I would have gave this score based on the fucking dub, it would have been a C. But because I switched to subbed at that last episode, I'm like, man, it's so much better. Everything is delivered so much better that I got to give it a B.
Okay.
Crazy.
I gave it a C plus, and I'm gonna say because I did not switch.
It's so hard to take it serious.
I was listening to this most recent episode, and I was like, yo, this voice is 100% flat.
They're all flat.
This is ginger ale left out for a week straight. Yeah. You come back and you think it's gonna be bold and spicy, and it's literally just water with a little bit of flavor in it. This joint, the show is great, man. Like, the show is actually really good.
The best CG animation ever, by the way.
Yes, and I agree. And the movements are so like intentional. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy to see like the action and things that take place. I'm following the characters and where they're going.
It's every time somebody talks.
Side romances and admiration that they have for our MC. I enjoy this show. The most recent episode, I just really enjoyed it, and it's like, they don't care when they're talking.
And that's bad. It's crazy, the difference. So when I'm telling, it's so different.
The excitement is, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that.
Yeah, it's somebody's just reading off a list.
It's Chucky doll kind of weird. Yeah, it's Chucky doll flat. That's what it is. It's not cool.
I wish it was Amazon that got it.
Yeah, I think I would, if I go back and do what you did, I might like it more.
You will, I promise.
But brother,
the way it feels is so everything feels like a completely different story. But
and you know what? And when I read the subs, it almost feels like they're almost telling things in a more detailed manner, even there. But let me just say, I think without the dub, I would have given it a better score, because I was literally thinking that I'm like, yo, this show, I feel like it could be a B, but I can't give it that. I can't give it that. That's
why I had to try it out. I'm like, I gotta see if I'm feeling this show is just completely just mediocre. And it's not. It's delivered much better, more emotion. You know how this last episode, this most recent episode, the thing that happened, I felt emotional, which is the first time in this show I did, because of the damn subbed. The dubbed, I'm sure, was like,
I should have turned the volume down. I probably would have felt more emotional.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It wasn't a bad moment. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. This is a good scene. And I was like,
it feels so much better.
I'm sorry.
All right, so you gave it a what, C+?
Yeah, C+. The
Shuinji family.
Shuinji, yeah.
You know what? This is a C+ for me. It might. This could go to an A if it's done right, or it could go to an F if it's done, bad. I.e., rent a girlfriend bad. But
yeah,
so far I enjoy it. Easy to watch. Interesting character dynamic.
You gave it a C+?
Yeah.
Okay. This is I'm not gonna say it's one of my favorites this season, but it's one of the ones that I don't want to miss at all every week. I know I don't want to miss it.
I'm the same way.
I feel like the only issue I have currently with this, for real, is that my character Shion, the younger brother, I don't see him enough. I want to see him more. I'm giving it a B+. I really enjoy this show. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna hold you. It's a good show. I enjoy this show. I can see it getting really funky really quickly. I feel like either route it takes, as long as it does it in a somewhat tasteful manner, and I feel like with the way the MC operates and moves,
it will be. Yep.
It's going to be.
Yep.
Just give me a little bit more Shion, because I like his perspective. I like him talking. That's all I want, bro. Keep everything else the way it is, and just don't take it too far, and then put Shion back in more. That's all I'm asking for.
Are you watching My Hero Vigilantes?
Yeah, I didn't watch the last episode, but I did watch everything before that.
Okay, what'd you give it?
It's better than My Hero Academia so far. And I feel like it's even better than what I read, and I read past this part. I would give My Hero Vigilantes right now. I'm stuck between a B+ and an A-. I'm gonna say B+.
Okay. I'm an evil lord of the Intergalactic Empire. I didn't think I would like this one, but I do. Is it good? It's very, very not recommended. I can't. I'm not going to recommend it. But like Rob Stone said, it is an easy watch. It's easy enough to watch, and I would watch it every week because it's just easy to put on, turn on for what feels like 15 minutes. That's actually 24. I can just throw on and be done with. So I'm gonna give it a C because it's not a good show, but
I gave it exactly that as well, and part of it is exactly what it is. It's easy to turn on. It's right there in your face. You turn it on, and that's it. And it's easy to digest as well.
Yeah.
It's not like it's doing anything necessarily complex.
Yeah.
It's not groundbreaking, but it's also not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as it's not doing anything that's putting it under, I feel like it's cool.
Yeah. Sword of the Demon Hunter. I talked about this for my episode of the week. I'm gonna give it an A. I like this show that much, and I think it's wholly slept on because of, again, it's on High Dive, unfortunately. But Sword of the Demon Hunter, I find to be, and this goes to what Dad Needs to Talk said. and because he mentioned like To Be Hero X feels like the show that you used to watch on Toonami and used to go to school and talk about the next day, which is an admirable, respectable comment. But I don't feel like To Be Hero X is. I think that's an insult to Be Hero X. I don't think, because again, Toonami was fine. I'm not as rose-colored glasses as most people are about Toonami. Probably because I was outside a lot. But I think this is the Toonami show that you would find on a late night that is surprisingly good. Like, surprisingly good. So I think this is a better apt description of sort of the Demon Hunter opposed to Be Hero X being there, because Be Hero X is leagues above what Toonami is, in my opinion. Sorry to shit on Toonami, but I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah, they can't afford it to Be Hero X. Kind of
hell no. I mean, they might, but
they could, but they just
don't feel like it. Yeah. Sort of Demon Hunter for you, Tell.
Oh, A, yeah. I didn't know it was a conversation. I thought we was done. It's an A.
You stopped watching Mobile Suit Gundam GX.
Yeah, I'm still contemplating if I want to actually pick it back up and watch it, or if I'm just gonna binge it later. I think I'm gonna end up binging it later. But it was that second episode felt so disjointed and uncomfortable that I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's bad, because I thought the storyline that they were feeding us in the beginning was solid. Mm. And if it's based off of a previous Gundam, I think it'll be good. I just don't. I didn't want to watch it because it felt awkward in that second episode. It felt.
Yeah.
I don't want to see mechs moving like it's the 1980s in 2025. You know what I mean? I want to see mechs moving like it's 2025 in 2025. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Which watch? This was one that I'm 3 episodes behind on, so I'm not fully caught up. Tell dropped it. Yeah. I'm not compelled, man. I'm not compelled. So I'm gonna give it a D for now, but this might be one that I go back and binge later.
I'm also giving it a D for dropped.
Okay, let's move on now, finally, to our guy, All For One Matt, one of the Patreon producers. He says, favorite podcast moment. I don't remember the episode number, but the time when Polow just went straight nuclear on Kazuya from When a Girlfriend. He was so tired of Kazuya's bullshit that I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, that's my worst enemy. I fucking hate that guy. It was when I read the manga to chapter fucking 300 and expected more and got less. And in the spring midterm grades, as usual, I'm going to keep it simple. Y'all know I don't try to do super long posts, so I'm just going to give the letter grades for each show I'm watching. We appreciate that. It works. It works just as good. To Be Hero X, A. The Unaware Atelier, C+. He says C plus minus.
So a C?
So a C, yeah. The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows, C+. To Be Perfect Saint, B+. The Beginning After the End, C. Once Upon a Witch's Death, D. Witch Watch, D. Can a boy-girl relationship survive, C. Yo Gonya, D. Please put them on Takami-san, D. Kowloon, Generic Romance, B+. Cinderella, great, C-. Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, B. Sword of the Demon Hunter, B. Yandere Dark Elf, D. Summer Pockets, B-. Returning shows, A+ for Windbreaker. Apothecary Diaries, A++. Soulshiman, A+. Fire Force, A. I'm just glad the show's back. In parentheses. All right. The Unaware Atelier, Tell. This is a C ass show, but you know what? I enjoy it more than that C grade allots for. Does that make sense? I like the show a lot, but it's a C ass show. And I mean C as fuck.
I mean, it's a show you can tell the budget ain't there. But do you enjoy it for show?
It's just a fun show, man. It's just a fun ass show.
C+.
C, okay. C and C+. I like that. The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows. You know, hear me out. I might like this more than most people, but I'm gonna give it a B-. Don't crucify me. Ugh. I like it.
Also a C plus, and I say that because it's so close to a B. It's another one of those shows where it's like I said, the budget ain't there, but everything else about it is actually pretty solid. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah,
to me it's not specifically the genre that we always say is a Polo and Tail ass anime, but it is definitely a Polo and Tail ass anime.
To Be Perfect Saint. I'm gonna go with All for One Matt's same score, B plus.
To Be Perfect Saint is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
They be cooking in that show. Yeah, B plus. I agree.
Can you believe that Crystal's not watching it?
She hates us sometimes.
Sometimes she just don't like us, and I just don't know what we did to her. It's crazy, ain't it?
I mean,
it really do be your own. I'm mad.
No, we be tripping, Polo. Let's not go too far. We do be tripping sometimes.
Oh, okay. The beginning after the end, bro. I stopped watching, bro. I'm 3 episodes behind, and I just don't give a fuck. D. Please read, because it's such a great read. Please read.
I'm gonna give it a C plus, but only because I haven't. Not C plus, C minus. I'm sorry, I mean C plus. I'm gonna give it a C minus only because I don't have as much to be disappointed by as Polo because he's read it. But
turn that shit off.
when he showed me that scene. And then when I saw how they kind of like butchered, what was it, 2 episodes ago when they got to the little area and it's not even the same thing that's going on. Yeah, brother, I ain't gonna lie to you.
It hurts, man. It hurts. And I saw the way they messed up this most recent scene too. I'm so disappointed.
But I can get away with it because I don't know.
Please no. Please read it so we can talk about it like we did Solo Leveling. I think I stopped at 144. Oh, I'm so mad. Okay, sorry. I almost hit the antagonist button. Once Upon a Witch's Death. I didn't continue watching it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to it eventually.
Yeah, that's when I was gonna plan to binge later, probably, maybe. But seeing that, go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a C for right now because I don't feel compelled. C for not compelled. C minus for not compelled.
It's a weird way of scoring that one, but okay. Tio Gunya, that's a D. And you know what? That's an F because I couldn't even finish the first episode.
I was about to say the same thing. It's an F, bro.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's not that it's necessarily worse than what's the lowest thing we got rated so far? You got beginning at the end. Witch Watch is the lowest thing I got rated. It's definitely worse than Witch Watch. So yeah, it's definitely an F. It's an F.
By a lot.
That's crazy.
Please put them on Takumi-san. I'm gonna give it a D plus. I'm behind a few episodes, excuse me. But I'm gonna give it a D plus. Cause I hate it, but I'm not just, I don't know how I feel about that fucking show. Leave me alone. Then we got everything. Yandere Dark Elf. I watched 1 episode. It's a D. Summer Pockets, my sleeper. He gave it a B minus. I'm gonna give it a B plus. The only reason why it's not an A, because I enjoy the show so fucking much, is because I need a little bit more after 6 episodes, just a little bit more, and I think we're gonna get that next episode. Since we got to where we were trying to get to in this particular arc, but yeah, B plus. I do enjoy Summer Pockets for something about this character that we met that he's been rocking with so far. I just love her so much, and we just got so much information on her, and it's the sweet. I think it's incredible. I just love it.
So I really like the feeling, and I keep talking about this every time I talk about this show. I like the feeling of the impending doom.
I hate you.
I love that feeling, bro.
It probably is going to be some crazies. Damn.
What do you mean? What do you mean? This most recent episode? Come on. Yeah. Come on. It's not right there. It's not hitting you in the face with the impending doom. It's hitting me in the face.
Probably, yeah.
I give it a B+ as well because I'm feeling it, bro. I'm watching the episode. I'm kind of like shaking in my boots, even though it's like nothing but like wholesome, good stuff.
Yeah.
Other than a slight moment that they had.
Yeah. I love the way the main character carry himself. I love when main characters carry themselves not as fumbling, bumbling fools. You know what I mean? And that's just what Summer Pockets does do so well. Windbreaker A. Apothecary Diaries. Windbreaker A+, I should say. Apothecary Diaries A+. Shoshiman A+. Fire Force. B+. How you feel about that?
B+? He gave it a B+?
For Fire Force, yeah. This most recent episode was better though. But I give it a B+.
Oh, you give it a B+.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. No. Oh, I was giving Fire Force a C.
Oh, shit. Oh, what a shocking revelation from Telliano.
Yeah, no, I was giving it a C+. And it's not, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, bro.
I understand.
I'm not sure if it's like leaning too heavy into like the like comedy aspect of it and stuff like that. Dude, but I feel like it's this show. Season 1 and season 2 were so freaking good. Mm-hmm. And it felt so good to rewatch that. Mm-hmm. And I almost feel like it was at a detriment that we did that.
Yeah.
I almost feel like if we hadn't rewatched it,
we would have missed it more.
Yeah, and I would have been like accepting of what we're getting right now. Mm-hmm. And I even think about it, but maybe because I missed it, I was like had the rose tinted glasses. Mm-hmm. And the first episode, I was like, yeah, this is too good for me. This is good. Second episode, I'm like, this is good. Now I'm like, nah, bro. I almost
interesting.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost turned this shit off.
At this most recent episode?
Not specifically this one, but I'm talking about like the last episode.
Oh,
I liked what Arthur did and stuff like that. I almost turned it off.
Yeah.
I almost was like, no.
If it wasn't for the sense of finally some progression, this most recent episode, I would be right there with you. But because we got some progression, finally.
But that's the thing. It's not that I'm not even upset because, like I said, the most recent episode, I feel like finally, finally I got some breathing I can do. Almost, like I said, I almost turned it off.
Hashtag Polo was right though.
Yeah, Polo be spitting sometimes.
So that next pillar was gonna be anyway. Sister. Okay. Oh, you. I'm sure you agree. A+ for Windbreaker. A+ for Apothecary Diaries. A+ for Shoshiman. We on the same page.
No questions.
All right, moving on to our girl, Crystal.
A++. Apothecary Diaries.
Crystal says, which watch? Okay, I got to convert her scores into grades. All right. Which watch? She gave it a C+. Is 75 a C+?
A C. It's a C.
It's a C. Okay. The show is what the manga is from what I can recall, so I can't complain about that. It's just a goofy show that honestly is much better as a read than it is a watch. Same thing our guy Rob Stone says. The Unaware, I hate saying his name because it's so many. The Unaware Atelier Meister. I love this show. That wasn't originally on my radar. My child is so precious. The story is fun. It brings me joy. Mm-hmm. She gave it an A, by the way.
Let's go.
Or A-. Yeah. I hate converting. All right. What? The Gorilla's God's go-to girl.
I saw that. I was not going to watch it.
What the fuck? She gave it a B. This show is truly just about an awkward girl who doesn't fit in and is finding herself with a newfound gift. People in the world who inherit gifts from animal gods and learning what love is. It's cute and fun. It does sound relatively interesting, but I don't think I'm interested. Zatsu Tabi, that's the journey. My sleeper pick. She gave an A. I love I love the show for what it is. It's simple and easy and enjoyable. Just a struggling manga artist taking trips across Japan to learn about life and find inspiration. Yeah, here we go. Now we get into Ahiran-san. I always forget how to say that. Ahiran-san season 2 and B. Just the same cute chaotic chaos from the first season, like the additional characters and a possible secondary couple forming. Now this show is special. I'm just gonna get my 2 cents out there. This show had an episode where it was about video games, and the video games that they referenced was Animal Crossing and Cyberpunk. And just imagine how I felt watching that. Summer Pockets, she gave a B. I like how the story is progressing, just waiting for the moment where it all comes together. Moving on to the second page of her list. Once Upon a Time, a Witch's Death. She gave a C. It's all right. The main character is annoying at times and high-key a pervert, but it's watchable. A pervert? What the hell is she doing that's perverted? Windbreaker season 2, an A. Nothing else you can say that someone else ain't already said. It's greatness.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Can this boy-girl relationship survive? A D. I can't stand this show. My hatred for the main girl in the direction of this plot is my reasoning. The only saving grace is her brother. Depending on how it ends, I might give it a 7. Or it could get a 7. I feel that. Like, again, we like it and hate it for the same reasons. It's so crazy with 2 different scores. Fire Force season 3. She gave an A. I'm happy it's back. I still enjoy it. I get that it's kind of slowish start, but it's still the great same feeling watching it. Like the other seasons. Apothecary Diary season 2, second half, a 10. I know it doesn't count towards the spring. This show is just perfect. Yeah, that's a fact. Mano, an 8. The show is great. Oh, the show is the same chaotic vibes as Do It Yourself. Ooh, okay, I like Do It Yourself. It's funny and cute. I think I watched Do It Yourself. Food for the Soul. She gave a B. Oh, she gave Mano a B, if you didn't catch that. The show is adorable, found friendships and food. It's another comfortable watch. So overall, with Apothecary Diaries, she gave it a B-. And the overall without Apothecary Diaries is the same. It's just a B-. She converted the end for us. I appreciate that, by the way. Let me see. Everything she has on our list, we already talked about. Ahiran-san season 2, I'm gonna give that a B. I fucking love that show. It's so good. It's so good. What a great slice of life. And then Crystal says, favorite podcast moment. That's hard because my brain fails me. Any antagonist button moments for sure. That's one.
That'd be Polow. Polow be pressing that antagonist button.
You gotta let me know when you need it, whenever you need it. Number 2, I've enjoyed the growth in what y'all consider watching over the years. Polow with Shoujo and Tail with Slice of Life. Yes, we both grew. We both grew. Number 3, when y'all finally, and she put it finally in all caps, when y'all finally decided to stop apologizing for certain takes, it all goes back to that antagonist button. And then 4, y'all agree most of the time, but when y'all disagree, it's hilarious, but fun listening to the debates.
They just want problems.
They just want chaos.
They want discord they want discourse in the Discord.
Honestly, y'all's is the only podcast I faithfully listen to and support. There's fun and authentic. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. There's fun and authenticity with you guys in this Discord community. The discussions are well thought and easy to follow. Congrats on the big 300. That means a lot. Thank you, Crystal.
Much appreciate, Chris. I'm gonna send you a heart like this. You see this? That's a heart. You watch the video.
She don't watch the video. All right.
She needs to for that heart.
Christian the Archivist, one of the producers, one of the goats. He says, I'm going to skip the midterms because I'm kind of busy at the moment, but I am going to say, number 1, antagonist is the best for sure. Number 2, long form anime discussions. So when we do our rewatches of long form shows, like we did with Log Horizon, Hunter x Hunter, Bleach. We didn't do Hunter x Hunter. What the fuck am I talking about? Yu Yu Hakusho was it? Why did I say that? Hunter x Hunter. All right, anyway. Number 3, spoiler-free reviews, then spoilers included in the second half. He liked that, which is what we're going to do here shortly. It's a long-ass episode. Number 4, Polow and Tail debates. Why does everybody like our beefs? That's crazy.
We don't be beefing. We just be disagreeing.
Never, yeah, of course. Number 5, live episodes. I love dropping random shit in the chat and making y'all laugh. Then have to go back to the serious pod mode. That is hard to do, by the way. is when you're live, because you have to think about the listeners that listens later. Oh, those are so hard. I feel like the live episodes, I always thought that when we did live episodes, when we put them on the podcast services, I always thought we would get less listens, but we don't. It'd be the same. It's crazy.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, Christian. You hold us down with getting that information that we've spanned all over the years from long ago. So we appreciate that so much. Thank you. TK, aka TK Does Nothing, says my spring 2025 midterm grades is a B minus. This has been a solid season for me. Still waiting for some of the dubs to finish before I binge. However, I'm cautiously optimistic that the grade goes up. Also, I'm thinking about picking up. I hearing once the second season dubbed is done and bringing both and binging both seasons. Yes, it's a great show, TK. He says he's keeping 11 of them. He said the Yaibus Samurai Legends, he gave a B. To Be Hero X, he gave
about that one.
Yeah, that's what TCB was talking about. I was bothering him in the Discord about it just to be an asshole, but To Be Hero X, he gave a 10. The Gundam one, he gave a B, or To Be Hero X, he gave an A.
B minus.
Yeah. Okay. B minus. Kowloon, he gave an A minus. Tio Ganya, he gave a B minus. Food for the Soul, he gave a C. To Perfect Saint, he gave a B. My Hero Vigilantes, he gave a B minus. B minus. Fire Force, he gave season 3, he gave a B. From Country Bumpkin to Old Swordsman, his sleeper, he gave an 8. And he gave Moonrise an 8. Oh. Yeah. Tell, what you giving Moonrise?
So at the moment, with being at episode 10, I gave Moonrise an A minus. At the moment.
Okay, so we're supposed to be on episode 10.
Yes. Now I have reason to believe that the ending is not phenomenal.
Oh no. Okay.
Only because
I need to catch up. I'm on 6.
You hate me.
No, it's only
because it's all there, right? It's because you can just watch at any point in time.
That's the problem. Yep, and it's on Netflix. Yep.
I think there's so much to like about it. Like it sounds good. The only thing that makes it a little wonky right now, and the reason it's getting A minus, is because I like all the characters, just because I like the world, just because I think it sounds good, just because I think it looks pretty, is not necessarily enough. I think the pacing is what's slowing. You
gave it an A minus or a B minus?
A minus.
Oh, A minus. Okay.
The pacing's not bad, but I feel like it's slowing it down. And before this, I would have gave it like a like a regular A, but after this most recent episode, and I'm specifically episode 10, I was like A minus. It's not an A.
Yeah, for those of you who are unaware, we are watching it because it's a sleeper pick. We decided to watch it piecemeal, so 2 episodes every week. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit behind because again, it's on Netflix and it's all there. It's really hard for me to go to Netflix because my life is kind of like it's very mechanical. I'm just clicking fucking Crunchyroll stuff. And the problem is AniList. When the show's already done, it goes into the anime in progress section. So I always forget that it's there instead of looking up at airing. So it kind of fucks me up. But yeah, I'm going to give it a B. And I felt this all the way through. It's a B. The soundtrack, very Star Wars epicness. I love that. Love the characters so far. And I'm only 6 episodes in. So we'll see where it goes from here. But when I catch up, I'll update my grade. Okay. He says he's binging 5, so Sword of the Demon Hunter, he's binging. Lazarus is most anticipated. That's unfortunate. Evil Lord of the Intergalactic Empire.
Unfortunate. That's unfortunate. All right. No, that's not funny.
This is binge. He's binging Wish Watch, and then he's binging Brilliant Healer's New Hidden Life, and he's dropping 7. The dinner table detective, Uchin Mumu, Ninkoro, Yandere Dark Elf, can his boy girl relationships hold up? And he put a throw up symbol next to that one. Throw up emoji. That's Journey, the beginning after the end. Damn, that's fun. Read beginning after the end, TK. And he says
your drop list is kind of thick.
Yeah, his drop list is real thick.
Yandere Dark Elf included.
Yo, straight up. Our guy, UETJ. UETJ says, y'all are at 300. That's crazy to think about. Congratulations, for sure.
Appreciate it, bro.
He says A tier, Apothecary Diaries, To Be Hero X, and Kowloon Generic Romance. The cliffhangers do it for me every time. Big time. I like the way he did his list. B tier, Fire Force, Old Country Bumpkin, My Hero Vigilantes. The action scenes are keeping me going, and the comedy. And he says C tier, The Brilliant Healer, which is his sleeper. Which again, your sleeper deserves to be in B tier. I'm just you know what I'm saying. Lazarus, unfortunate. Food for the Soul is good for background noise, but not something I have to watch. And he said his favorite.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The list is nice and concise, bro.
I like it.
It's great. You got like 3 A tier, 3 B tier, 3 C tier, and you say, all right, throw everything else out the window. I kind of like that.
I really do love that too. And he said his favorite pod moments, the questions from the numbers game. Get to know Mike Check Waifu. Interesting. The number 2 was agree to disagree moments, which is, well, people love that for some reason. That's crazy. 3, the change of your top 10 anime. Yeah. Those are my favorite episodes too. Working through that is always, because it's a big deal for us. It's like it solidifies us as not only just people, but podcast hosts. So we make it it's kind of a big deal for us. And then 4, just being consistent. After all this time, I started listening around 160 to 170-ish eps. Ooh. Man.
You've been with us for a long time.
A long ass time. That's crazy. And we appreciate that. And we appreciate everybody that participated in these midterms. Okay, Tel, let's see. I think we talked about everything that we're watching as far as grades go. Here we are. Okay, yeah, we did. That's it. I mean, for my list anyway. I got all mine in.
Oh, Go Loser Ranger. Still watching that. I think it's a B-.
If I up this okay.
I'm jumping on everybody.
Sorry, it's just a fucking TikTok of this guy doing that song for Power Rangers. Oh, anyway. I just can't, man. I wish I could find a good Sentai show to watch. I never liked Power Rangers as a kid either. Like, I just don't like that style of show.
I used to watch Beetleborgs.
Yeah, I just never liked them.
Yeah, I can understand, bro. It's not for everybody else. Obviously, once I hit like 8, I was done with that for real.
Yeah, and that's about the age you should be watching it. And I'm like, I don't.
But you also got to remember, my first anime was Ronin Warriors, which was basically Sentai, but they were samurai.
Yeah. I mean, Sentai have samurai fucking versions of the show. Anyway. Yeah, thank y'all so much for joining. So let's get our overall scores going. I'm not going to average what I've did. I'm just going to give my score for this season. It's been one of the easiest seasons to watch. I feel like I'm watching a lot of great stuff compared to last season. But I don't know if you can do this quickly, but what did we give our overall score for last season? I don't know if you can find that quick. So I'll just pander until you can.
It's on my old phone.
Oh, damn. I forgot you switched phones. You might be able to find it in the notes in the Discord. But
oh yeah, let me check that.
I will say, for me, with this season being as easy to watch shows, both of our sleepers being absolute bangers, I absolutely love that. And then finding gems like 2B Hero X and what was another super crazy gem, To Be Perfect Saint. Like, I feel like this was such a fun season, easy season. I'm gonna give it a. I want to wait till I figure out what my score was last season first. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it real. It might be easier for me to go to.
Hold on.
That might be hard to find too. I can check.
I'm right around like the right area. Hold on.
What was last season? Winter.
Yeah. Did I not put the scores in?
Let's see here.
Yeah, I put the.
Sorry for the dead air.
No, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if I actually put the mid-season
Did we have a midterms? Because I just searched it on our website, and I only got 2023.
Yeah, maybe we didn't end that season like that. Because
we got cut week, we got winter.
I think
we got winter preview.
That's the 2024 Don to Don. Like that's the last thing. Maybe we didn't give it an actual rating because the episode number would be right around 280, 288 is where we should have done it at. Because that's where we did our must watches. Actually, we didn't do a rating.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I'm looking at the website now. Yeah, because we got a cut week. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we didn't do it.
After that, we did the review.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
that's
we
crazy.
didn't give an actual rating. We just did our must watches.
Let me do fall then. That's easy to find. Fall midterms. Here we go. So fall midterms. Ooh, fall midterms. Oh, that's 2023. What the fuck? Dude, we didn't do a fall midterms either? Oh my goodness. What are we doing with our lives?
We had to. It's just maybe it's in the podcast episode I didn't put in the notes properly.
I usually say have the same naming convention.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we didn't. All right, well, I'm gonna just say this season I'm gonna give it a B+.
Yo, let's go.
I really like it a lot. It's been a fun season. One of my favorite seasons we've had in a very long time.
Yeah. And I said, hey, let's go because we obviously agree on the B+. But what I find oddly funny about this season is that I have a lot of C's, C minuses, that kind of stuff, right? But when it comes to like how easy it is, like you said, to actually watch this season, it does feel super easy to watch. Mm-hmm. And then the stuff that's an A, I feel like the A's are so high.
So powerful, yeah.
The A's this season are so high that it's like, it overpowers anything else. So yeah, B+ just feels right.
Yeah. Enjoyable season. All right. We got to get to the review. All right, let's do it. So we decided that we was going to watch Log Horizon, a rewatch of Log Horizon. I already seen season 1 and season 2. Tello has never seen it. I never seen season 3. I seen like 1.5 episodes of season 3. And you just got finished watching it all. Overall thoughts of Log Horizon. So we already did just season 1 and season 2. So just Log Horizon, Destruction of the Round Table, aka Log Horizon 3. What is your thoughts, Tel?
Season 3 was my least favorite of the seasons. It didn't feel as well articulated. Mm-hmm. It felt like it felt like it just had some pacing issues, and it could be because I was in the comfortable setting of having the 24 episodes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the way that things could be expressed and explained was just significantly more because there's 24 and not 12. And
it was set in arcs that was real compartmentalized. Well, yeah. This time it was just kind of like, it just flowed weird.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's still all the characters I love.
Yep.
But the way that it transitioned into things just didn't feel as proportionately... It didn't feel as proportionately planned out as I felt like it was previously. Mm-hmm. Everything else, like I felt like every interaction, every intervention, every fight, everything was like planned and curated to a sense where it felt like that's where it needed to be in the explanation of the story.
Yeah.
And here it just did not feel like we were getting that adequately, in my opinion. It just didn't feel as well, like I said, curated. So it's my least favorite of the seasons, but I don't say that to say that it's bad. Mm-hmm. There are still things about this show that I find impossibly difficult to take away from how good it is.
Yeah. Could agree more. It's everything you said is spot on though with this season. For one, I do want to get this out the way. The people that they replaced for the dub, since it was like a 5-year difference between season 2 and season 3. They replaced some of the people, and the replacements were great. I just want to get that out there. So this dubbed sounds way better than the dubbed of season 2 and season 1, but it's not saying much because the dub wasn't that bad before. But everything you said is spot on. I did like the raid with the Log Horizon Junior members. That was pretty cool. And again, just the way it delivers game knowledge in layman terms so people can understand it. So if you never watched or if you never played a video game or an MMO in your life, you could go into it understanding the concepts of what's going on. I think that shit is so cool. And they do that so well. However, the destruction of the round table being the title of this arc or this season wasn't really that poignant within this season, and it felt the payoff felt lackluster. And it's obvious because it's like this supposed to have been like the first half of a full season, right? Like this shit is not done. And apparently the author of the light novel and stuff is financially in trouble. So I'm not sure what's going on there, or if it would ever get finished, or if we stuck with just this for the rest of our life, which came out in 2023. But if it doesn't, then it's going to be rough. It's going to be hard to leave this, to have this.
It'll hurt.
Just end like this, because it's just, the series is so good, and they just found it's so much information that was just given. It was so well done that it's sad that if it ends that way. All right, let's start with the review. Now, this is for the series in its entirety. Let me explain the way our review scale works. We have a very interesting review scales. We have 5 categories that we rank using a 20-point scale. The 20-point scale being 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 9.5, etc. We rate 5 categories, and then we take those 5 categories and we average it out. So the 5 categories that we rate is animation. That's the art style, visual direction, scenery, and overall viewing experience. Sound design, that's the soundtrack, composition, sound effects, and how well it tied to the visuals. Pacing, episode to episode strength and the continuity, and how well the story developed and unfolded as the series went on. Plot, the overall story and how well it was written, how well the story resonated with us, the viewer. And characters, relatability, overall development, growth, and how memorable the characters were. We rate those 5 categories using that 20-point scale, and we take those averages from each host and we average it together to give you the Mic Check Waifu official review score. Without further ado, let's do further tell. Starting with animation.
All right, so
now remember, let me put this in perspective. This show came out in 2013. Yeah. Season 1, 14 was season 2.
I still feel obligated to rate it, I mean, as fairly as I possibly can, right? Because obviously in that time frame it would have been decent. May have been different, but we also still had like Attack on Titan at that time, and Attack on Titan's animation was pretty high tier.
Attack on Titan 2012 or 13?
We also had Fate, which around that time was another ufotable that would have been amazing. For me, the animation, it was cool. Can I give it a 7.8?
A 20-point scale.
I know.
That's the 100-point scale.
I know. I'm gonna give it a
7.5 then.
Yeah, it's got to be a 7.5 because it's not bad, but it's not like there's nothing revolutionary about the animation in my opinion.
100% agree. We talked about this one. I think it was during the season 2 rewatch, but even though this is 2012, 2013, this animation is better than the beginning after the end. And that's fucked up.
That is a fact. Oh my God.
Again, it wasn't anything to write home about. You're not going to be like, oh, this animation is crazy. It's not Shangri-La Frontier, which is all about animation. This was just fine. It was like fine, you know? But I don't think that's what you were here for anyway. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's so funny. Why'd you bring up the beginning after the end?
Because I did it in the season 2.
That's how to not do animation, bro. That's like literally how to not do animation.
It's the perfect. When I say that, everybody know what the hell I meant. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. All right. And I start off with sound design. Now, sound design, this is probably my favorite part of the series because it's every time when we're learning something of the world or the people or situation, and we're navigating on how we're going to handle this world and situation, that sound come in, that you know, that little theme plays, and when that theme plays, I get excited. I'm like, oh shit, they about to figure some shit out, or they about to learn something, or about to drop something about elder tales that we didn't know. And it's always so satisfying to learn something when that music starts to play. It's my favorite thing. I love in season 1 and season 2 the intro and outro. I thought they were brilliant, especially when the outro comes in. When the outro comes in, it's like at the end of the episode. I'm like, oh, but it sounds cool the way it kind of flows. Like, because what they do is they put the outro, overlay it at the end of the episode, and you hear the outro start to like build up, and it builds up, and then the show ends. And I think that's so fucking cool when shows do that. So soundtrack was incredible throughout this watch. So I'm gonna give the sound design an 8.5.
I'm obliged to agree with Polow. I think everything he said is spot on, and I hate that he said it, but it's literally that soundtrack that plays as soon as we start learning something, bro.
Oh, so good.
I think about it every time, bro. I was like, yo.
I might add that to our soundboard.
And it's so solid. It's so solid. I gave it an 8 in sound design. It was just, it was that felt almost like home watching this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it gave us a place to be. It was a pocket. It gave us a pocket to be in when we were getting ready to get inside our bag for this show. So yeah, I gave it an 8.
Yeah. So pacing. You start us off with the pacing.
I think that for majority of this show,
I already know where you're going.
The pacing was fucking phenomenal.
Tell them.
The pacing was amazing, and hear me out. The only reason I'm not giving the pacing a 10, there's only one reason I'm not giving the pacing a 10, and it's because there was 2 episodes in season 3 that I was like, I'm like, if I could give it a 98%, because like literally think about it. 48 episodes before this, the pacing was perfect.
I mean, you got arc. You got an arc beginning and the end, arc beginning and the end, arc beginning and the end. It just flows so nicely, bro. It was just
for 48 episodes. I thought the pacing was perfect in my opinion.
49.
I thought the pacing. Yeah, 49. I thought the pacing was perfect. No, I couldn't complain one bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have gave it 100% if it was just those first 2 seasons on pacing.
Yes, me too. Me too. You are spitting, man.
But alas, here we are.
Season 3, fuck this.
Because I can't give it a 9.8. Guess what it's got to get?
9.5.
9.5. Here we go.
I absolutely cannot agree with you more on every point that you said. Because it flowed so perfectly the way we climbed through each arc. You knew when a new arc started, and you knew when a new arc ended. And when it ended satisfyingly and progressively. The progression, there was always, and this is going to go into me talking about plot, so I might as well swing into that. So I gave it a 9.5 as well. But it's the way the progression, it was always an underlying overall story at the bottom of the progression tree within the story, right? So you had whatever arc you're going through, like learning about how this world operates, to how you're going to manage with food, to how you're going to manage with certain villains or governmental, how you're going to navigate certain governmental aspects of the NPCs in the land, or the people of the land as they call them. That the way they told those stories and interwove that pacing through with this plot was incredible. There was always a stronger plot within each arc, and it just felt layered so extremely well for the first 2 seasons. For the first 2 seasons, the plot was so interesting because you kept building on top of the world, you kept building on top of the characters, you kept building on top of that main overarching story on how we got here and what is the situation and how we fix the situation. until the last season. The last season, if it just was, I don't know, maybe the first 8 to maybe 7 episodes of the first of season 3, it would still be to me a 10 when it comes to the plot of this fucking show. But because of the rest of the end, the beginning after the end is just like, what is this? Where are we going? Why do we do this? I gotta bring it down to a 9. I do think, 9.5. I do think the pacing was just that good. And the story beats for the first 2 seasons and like 6 episodes of season 3 were so good. But it's all about how you finish with us too. And like, technically, we don't know if this is getting more.
Yeah.
And that kind of fucks up the plot in itself there.
Now, to piggyback off of what Polow said, yes, obviously, I still agree wholeheartedly that just the first 2 seasons, this would have been a 10.
Yeah.
On plot. This is some of the best writing for, especially for a video game like series or franchise. Like, I legitimately felt like for some of this, like, am I even watching them in a video game? Like, is that really what this is? Are we sure they didn't actually, maybe they imagined that they were in a real world, because this is crazy.
So let me say this though, because I do think this is pertinent for us to say. We're not, and this goes back to my guy Fear, shout out to Fear. We're not so prudent or, I guess, anchored on like some of the comedic beats, because I know he hates how quote unquote childish it feels. And when Crystal started watching it, she may feel the same way if I'm kind of like, if I'm wrapping around her kind of taste of anime and what she like and don't like. I'm not saying for sure she won't like it, but we don't put that much stock into like those silly parts, right? Do you agree with that, Till? Even though I don't think there were a problem.
I still have things I can say about that too, because I agree. That no, I'm not necessarily putting a lot of stock in that, but I will say this: for the first 49 episodes, even in those comedic moments on the side tangents we got with like little side quests within the show, it never lost the plot.
Yeah.
Within the first,
so we feel the same way. Yeah.
It never lost the plot with that. If there was something that was interweaved or put into the show, it always kind of headed in the same direction that we needed to be in for the overall picture. And even though I feel like this second half is still heading in that direction, it just didn't feel, like I said, as concise.
Yeah, man. I don't know what happened.
That's you know true. What I mean? Even, like, we had like the festivals and stuff before that were like almost entirely different, but the reasoning for the festival was brought into what's happening next and whatnot. You know what I mean? and the governmental like status and why we need to do things. Like, it all felt like it was, the plot was tying it back together. And this, and like I said, it could just be because of 12 episodes. It just feels like there's so many loose ends within what's happening that it's like, you kind of lost that a little bit, even though I know where you're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like we didn't get, like you said, we didn't get the name of this season. Like we did, but we didn't. You know what I mean?
100%.
So because of this specific season not quite tying that knot for the plot, I have to give it a 9.5 as well.
Let's do it. It's the first 49 is so good. Okay.
I start characters. Or did you?
Yes, you do.
I love all of these characters.
There's a lot of them.
In my heart.
There's a lot of them.
I love all of them.
There's like 55 characters.
I love all of them. I don't think that. I think who the hell wrote this story? And who was their consultant for character development and stuff like that?
What a great question you asked there.
Because, and I'm not trying to gush, but I am a little bit. The characters that you hate them for a purpose. And after the moment that we were supposed to hate them, they might reintroduce them to you to make you like them again.
Mama Mare to you know.
I fucking love these characters. The characters to me are so interesting. I legitimately have no characters I hate in this. And even when we got to like, I can't even remember her damn name. Goddamn. The girl who wants to bring her son or her kid into the game.
Monami.
I was like,
Monami.
I fucking love her.
Yeah.
And she was the most eccentric person in the show for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, she was the most eccentric. I love her. I gave the characters a 10. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I think that these characters, they are the world. They are what makes this so important. And what they go through, not even just like our player characters, the NPC characters, how they are going through anything, the world of the characters themselves, how they're trying to operate the government, finding out that the people of the land, they're the producers. You're not eating, you're not living, you're not getting any of your goods or surviving without them. The adventurers are the adventurers, and finding out how they operate and how they play into the world. The characters are the world. And they do such a good job of pointing that out. But also, not only are the characters of the world, the characters are themselves, and they have their own internal like gripes and things with the world. Man, I don't care. Characters are a 10. They're amazing.
Everything you think about this show, or everything you think about this situation, I should say. Sorry. With the characters are battling, you understand, right? When you first get there, they're happy, they're excited. Oh, we're inside a gang. This is how this works. We're gonna PvP. We're gonna do it, and it covers all of this stuff. That again, it explains it all extremely well within the plot of the show. But it just does such a fucking fantastic job of building characters, giving them arcs within the arcs. And it's just wonderful. Everybody from the round table, and to balance 50 something characters, because it really is so many fucking characters that they have to balance so many characters as well as you do. And I think it's because of what you said. I think it's because of the fact that the world is also a character. It's like the 56 character in the show that it's like you're so talented. You got to be extremely talented with writing if you could do this. I think the only other show that comes close to this, to balancing a lot of characters at once well, is Overlord, and it's not nearly as many characters as it is in this one. Not nearly. I agree. It's a 10. It's a 10 character wise. It's unbelievable how good these characters are. And then looking at our overall score right now, Tell. This shit feel right.
We gave it the same exact score, bro.
Essentially the same exact score. Let's talk about it. Animation, I gave it a 7. Tell gave it a 7.5. Sound design, I gave it an 8.5. Tell gave it an 8. Pacing, I gave it a 9.5. Tell gave it a 9.5. Plot, I gave it a 9.5. Tell gave it a 9.5. Characters, 10, band 10. Overall score, 8.9 for Polow, 8.9 for Tell, which makes Mike Check Waifu. Overall score for Log Horizon, the entire series, an 8.9. Too fucking bad about last season. Like, again, last season isn't completely terrible, right? It's not completely terrible. But it is just rough enough to take down that score just a smidge enough. Because if it was... Let's just look at I think we were both on the same page when it came to pacing. If season 3 had the same pacing as season 1 and 2, it'd be a 10. So what would be the overall score if we did that? It'd be a 9-1, which is accurate too, you know?
Yeah. Because I feel like even if I was being like subjective, it would be higher than a 9. But because I feel like I have to be this way because of how the season or how it ended, you know, that kind of stuff. I got to. I got to be fair.
All right, so let's do this. So we're not going to forget it this time. Let's do the fear of the highs and lows. What was your lowest rated moment, I should say, in the Log Horizon series? Shout out to Saphir, who gave us an idea for when we do our reviews to rate our highest rated episode and our lowest rated episode. But because we did the whole series, we're gonna find a moment. It's hard to remember. It was
the fight between
It's your highest rated?
Oh, I thought you said lowest.
Lowest, sorry, lowest, my fault.
God, and I literally had his name on the tip of my tongue. God damn it. I had his name on the tip of my tongue. His name is Krusty. All right. Season 3, the fight with Krusty and the genius that they were trying to facilitate that issue with. It just wasn't my favorite. It just I liked the junior lower level adventurers, which, you know, not Shiro, with Akatsuki better. I felt like that shows so much. I felt like that shows so much more development for those characters who were not that developed, and to do their own thing. Versus Krusty, who has always been depicted as this like OP kind of character. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just felt like not that I didn't even feel like it was out of place for Krusty. I just felt like it was It was
For me, my lowest moment is still the is that just that one little cheesy arc in season 2, super cheesy with the junior Log Horizon members when they met. What's the one girl name that's disguised as the NPC? That was like, it was like he was like trying to stop the other guy from, you know, killing himself and stuff. But them going on that adventure to start just felt off. So yeah, that was my lowest rated moment. My highest rated moment though is probably when Shiro, and I'm not gonna spoil it. It's a moment that Shiro does in season 1 that basically helps form the round table. That is my absolutely highest rated moment. That's a 10 out of 10 moment right there. 10 out of 10, Captain. I'm not gonna say what it is because Crystal has to watch it. So yeah, that was definitely my highest rated moment.
We can talk about it in the spoiler section.
Okay.
My high would be that the dungeon raid, the completion of the dungeon raid in season 2, when it was completed, and then like the kind of way Shiro handled that whole situation. Bro was finesse, man. He finessed the whole system.
That shit was like, clean. I forgot about that.
You know how I don't know how many people know this, but 2 Texas men just paid $29 million to play every possible situation to hit the lottery and won $90 million. Right? That's what they did. They paid $29 million to win $90 million. They got a profit, $60 million. They win, right? That's who Shiro is. That's who Shiro is. And I love it. He's the villain in glasses. I feel like he's that guy. And I love how he did things, but even like pushing his contract magic and doing that kind of stuff. It's like they developed everything even from season 1 to kind of show how things work, to get to this point to show how things work. So good.
It's so good. All right. We still doing spoiler talk, huh?
I mean, we can go straight into spoilers now. I mean, we already here. We done did how long we been recording?
An hour and 32.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So this is going to be the spoiler half of the show. We're going to spoil Log Horizon. So see you later, Crystal. Bye, everybody else that's listening. We appreciate you. So let's talk spoilers of the Log Horizon series. Let's get it. Spoiler.
So I want to start with the idea of, and this is one of my most favorite components of the show. It is the memories. And I love how they put an importance on, in the beginning, it's losing, you know, you die and eventually find out you lose your memories, right?
Yeah.
To season 2, we're seeing what it actually looks like when you die and those memories get lost. To season 3, getting to the point to where you can even essentially utilize those memories to gain power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is something that was just found out.
Yeah, but it's such a cool concept.
It's crazy.
It's like the show, it does this excellent job of building on itself and the world like that. That it's phenomenal, man. And when I saw it for the first time, I was like, yo, like, because they didn't directly say it, when it first happened. They didn't say it. They just kind of showed it happening. And I was like, did bro just sacrifice the memory? And this is out of, a crusty situation. You know what I mean? The situation I kind of did not like that much. But it was like, when it happened, I was like, hold up. Because, like, I was so enticed by that concept. It was like, yo, did he just do what I think he did? And he did. He sacrificed the memory to gain power, but then comes back and says, oh, yeah, no, but there's also a way for me to regain those memories. Get them back. It's like, of course there is. That's the purpose of this. There's a meaning and reason for everything. And I almost feel like the way that this has been set up is that, yeah, of course you'll be able to get your memories back. They don't just go into nothingness. You know what I mean? They're fueling or powering something. And I almost feel like if we ever do get a season 4 or a continuation to this season, that it will build on that concept to where the people who even lost their memories may be able to regain them. And that may even get us to a point to where they can get to the real world without any real loss or something like that. Yeah. I love it though, because it's giving me something to speculate about. I'm sorry, I'm like talking, but it's giving me so much to, I'm talking about. I feel like I ain't even gave you a chance to talk. But I feel like it gives us so much to like speculate about, but also the concept of it to me feels so unique within the spectrum of what we're doing. You know 100%. What I mean? That's extremely unique.
100%. It's baffling at how the smaller details in this show stand out to me so much more watching it the second time from the first 2 seasons, because going back to how one of my favorite parts they do is when they show the people in their past, or not their past, but their real world self, and how the art style changes to completely different art style when you see them in a game versus how, in the game it's a little bit cartoony because guess what, it's a fucking video game, to then into the real life version where it's a little bit more hyper realistic anime style. I thought that was so fucking cool. And particularly when it shows like the eyes of characters, or it doesn't show the eyes of characters because you don't want to lose that mystique of who they are from the video game to they are in the real world. It's just phenomenal. And then to go back to what I said, my favorite part was the forming of the round table and how he decided to save the little ones. Because in a world like this, where when you're doing the tutorial of the Elder Tales game, and they give you these level up potions, and people taking advantage of the fact that they're getting these level up potions from the new rookies that come in, and when they train their skills, just take the potions and they start flipping them, and it's just trying to make money and trying to build themselves up so they can become the most powerful on the server. That is the way people would think in this type of world, and that shit I found to be so entertaining. And then the way Shiro decided to, but this is the way the game works. I could buy the fucking building and kick everybody out that shouldn't be here, and then we'll form this round table to fix this problem. Incredible stuff, man.
And even when you think about like how they handle situations, like I'm thinking about how Akatsuki got her oral arts. And with that situation within the world, and that's when we were finding out about specifically the flavor text. You know what I mean? That
shit was so deep.
Oh my God, the way when the flavor text started to come true or play its role within the show, it felt like a whole new level was unlocked. And we still get more of that flavor text added into what's going on now and how the world is developing. And it's just like, bro,
the fact that it's even evolving like it is just captivating in itself. It's
right.
crazy.
And what's the next step for that? You know what I mean? And it's not saying that there should be a next step, but it's like for the world and how it developed with the flavor text and everything like that. Like eventually, because what I thought was hilarious was that it wasn't the flavor text wasn't the precursor to that development. The precursor to that was that they literally explained how if you were a male character in real life, and you were playing a female character, your character is going to start sounding more and more like a woman, and you're going to start transitioning more and more into that woman while you play this game, because that is what you're role playing. You are role playing. You know what I mean? You are, and this is like essentially you're no longer role playing. You are becoming that character, which means that the utilization of that meant that the flavor text is also becoming real. It's the fact that this is no longer a role play. This is real. So when the sword or that scythe said, I need a sacrifice, and I'm gonna take you and whatever else is around you to get that sacrifice, and it took that man and part of her took her arm. It was like, that's the flavor text,
dude. When you bring up the flavor text part, you think about the fact that they started off by mentioning, oh, now we can cook without the cooking skill because of this. And then they start to gradually get into the gender thing, and then they graduate into the flavor text is now changing, and it all just layers on top of each other, and then it gets exploited out into the world to become this major thing, and it changes the world completely. It's so fucking great. It's so great. What a great show this was.
Yeah, and even one more part when they were in season 2, when they were talking about trying to figure out how to get out, and they were going to the radio tower. What was it called? The Tower of Calling or something like that?
Yeah.
First of all, I love that because it was like a call
very
to
meta.
the real world.
Yep.
It was a call to the real world. It looked like the real world. But we go through this, and it's a struggle. They're really struggling to get this because this is almost like an apocalypse level event that's happening here.
Well, because you think about Shiro's mentality at this particular moment, right? He's like, I'm not sure if I should try to protect this tower or break it, because we have to break it to kill the things that's attacking us. But if we break it, then we can't get home, and then all these people that's relying on me to get them home will be upset because I can't get them home because I decided to make this choice. And it was just wrestling with that. It's fucking up his entire mental for this particular raid. And if you fucking up mentally in a raid, it's like fucking up in
gonna make it through.
Yeah, it's like fucking up in a no war in Black Desert Online. It's like it's a rough thing to experience. Like, it's tough.
And to what made that even better though is that you think about like what they've been through. At that point, we were like, this is coming up on a year of them being inside the game.
People are depressed.
But people just also decided that some people, this is actually a good life for them. You know what I mean?
A better one,
and that's why, like, for the young people, you know what I mean? Even was wild because like they're young, they've been in here for a year, and they've been in some grave situations, but they came out on top, and because of that, this feels like home for them now. And there are going to be a ton of people who feel that way. And that's why I thought it was crazy. Not crazy in a bad way, but crazy because like that some people are really going to feel that way. Like I said, with the girl who wants her kid to come into the game because Monami, because you experienced a lot here. You grew here. And you grew in ways that you would have not grew in the real world.
You think about that part too, right? When she was talking to Shiro at the radio tower. That part where she said, why not find a way to have both is a thing that I was thinking the entire time we was watching the show that I never thought about once. I only thought about how they're gonna get home, and then we was wrestling with the fact that what if I break the tower and they can't get home and they're gonna be upset with me. I would never even once thought about the fact that maybe they could do both. And with her eccentric guys bringing that up, my heart sank because I'm like, oh shit, damn! I didn't like. Nobody thought of that.
Coolest shit ever. Coolest shit in the world.
That shit was so cool, man. All right. So the last final thing I want to mention, because it was like the last final thing that kind of happened in the show, is the romance. Did you feel bad for Minori?
No.
Me either. Okay.
She's a kid. I understand that her feelings, and like I said, it kind of harkens back on the idea that I said they experienced a lot here. And
I was sad for her though.
Yeah, I was sad for her, but I don't necessarily feel bad about the situation because
he made the right
but also that's kind of how love plays out sometimes. You know what I mean? It's it's not gonna be like that for everybody. But she did find out that it's not just admiration, it's not just respect.
Which I loved.
She did genuinely feel love for him, which is fair. You genuinely feel that, and like I said before, some people in this world have gone through enough to where they may have aged beyond, their childish years. But you also gotta remember Shiro was an adult before this, and he had already experienced many things, and he had already been playing with Akatsuki for much more time than he had with anybody else. Not anybody else, but than he had with her. So of course he's gonna have a different feeling for someone else. And I think that,
and they went through a lot. Like in this world, them two particularly kind of went through a lot together.
Yeah. So of course he's gonna have a different level of feeling that he has for her than he has for you, because he feels like he's a mentor to you. Thus, his feelings for you are never going to change. He's not going to be able to change those feelings directly. Whereas Akatsuki, while Akatsuki called him her lord, he didn't feel like he was mentoring her. He felt like that was genuinely his partner. That was genuinely someone he could rely on. He's relying on her. Thus, that is someone that he genuinely cares for.
And the best part for season 3 for me was the way he broke that down to Minori. My least favorite part was when he called Minori the wrong name at the beginning of the season in the dub. At first, I'm like, okay. He said Minorai.
His fault directly.
Yeah. Called her Minorai. Like, come on, man. Anyway, the way he broke it down to Minori, like why Akatsuki is the one, or you never know. They showed Akatsuki, but you never could have been talking about Manami too. But I thought it was Akatsuki.
They showed Akatsuki, but I feel like they kind of put the Manami thing to rest.
Yeah, 100% when she said she had a kid. Yeah, it was great. It was a great series, great show. I loved it. I'm glad you liked it too. I knew you would though. I had no questions about that because of the way I enjoyed it and the way you like Sword Art.
Yeah, I think that rating was crazy.
I told you, man. I'm like, this is it's one of them ones, man. It's one of them ones. Where does it land on the list? 14, just below bottom tier character. Wow. Windbreaker's above it, rightfully so. Yeah, Arcane. Yeah, what a great review, man. I'm at Polow B on all social media.
I'm at King Telliano on all social media.
You follow our social media is at Mike Check Waifu on Blue Sky. That's really it. But subscribe to the YouTube and thank you for supporting us on Patreon. Consider doing so if you haven't already. And as always, Mike Check.
Nice.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?